What's good, YouTube? This is AOC85 here, bringing you part 3 of the segment I call The Heavenly Hosts. This is the spell lineup discussion of my Agent Fairy deck. Talk to you about my choices, why I'm not running Dark Hole, or why I'm side decking Dark Hole, and just why I chose the cards I did. And for the Japanese, the OCG specific cards, I'll explain the effects of the cards and why they're so good in this deck. At least I believe so. Alright, so starting with Cards from the Sky. Now, the text of this card reads that remove from play one light fairy monster from your hand to draw 2 cards. You cannot special summon or conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this card. Now, in hindsight, at first glance, this might seem like a very, even poor, a terrible version of Lore of Darkness, and an even poorer version of Card for Black Feathers. However, this deck doesn't always have to be explosive. I can go into control using my monster effects and the field spell card and my trap lineup. And I run 3 copies because this card is one of the best cards you can get turn 1. Because, I mean, if you're going first turn 1, you can't attack anyway. And just being able to go through your deck and draw 2 cards, using this, then Pile of Duality, then even White Elephant's Gift, it's basically you have 8 draw cards. I guess if you count Pile of Duality as a draw card, because I mean you do draw a card from Pile of Duality. You have Searchers in your Agent of... what's her face? The Agent of Wonder Earth and Creation of Venus, who brings out your Mystic Shine Balls. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 searchers, in addition to Zeridius, who searches out the field spell card. So that's what, 8 searchers, 8 draw cards. It's a lot of consistency for the deck. At least that's how I feel. And yeah, you just remove from play that light monster and go to work after that. Turn 2, turn 3. Pile of Duality. Yes, it's an expensive card. And yes, it's crucial for this deck. It gives you that much added draw power. Allows you to search for your deck for that one card you need to go off. That one card you need to maintain control. That one card you need to get out of a tight situation. And at 3, I mean, this deck, in this deck, I can special summon, but I don't need to do it every turn to maintain field presence, like a Samurai deck. Like with a Samurai deck, you need to be able to special summon almost all the time, which is why in my Samurai build, I don't run Royal Oppression, but I'll talk about that when I debut that build. That's the build I took to my first regional and I went 39th at, so yeah, look out for that video. We have the 3 copies of the Sanctuary in the Sky. This is our field spell, our Necro Valley, our Dragon Ravine. It's not as broken as those 2 cards. It's a simple effect. Battle damage to the controller of a fairy monster from a battle involving that fairy monster becomes 0. So basically, you don't take battle damage if you have a face-up fairy monster or your opponent can pierce through your defense position fairy monster. Pretty simple. However, it's this card that brings out a lot of the secondary effects of your agent monsters, which makes them so powerful. It allows Master Hyperion to nuke 2 cards per turn. Allows Agent of Miracle Jupiter to special summon one of your remove from play light monsters, which you probably be removing from play with cards from heaven. Allow the Agent of Wonders Earth to search out Master Hyperion if you need it, and it just gives you the power of those 3 counter traps you run, the Divine Punishment, and it's just so damn good. I cannot describe. Like, I can't wait for you guys to be able to test this deck out, or at least run proxies and just try it out. It's annoying to play against, but it's lovely to play with. That's all I can say about that. Your 2 copies of White Elephant's Gifts. It's your draw power for your normal monsters, your Mystical Shine Balls. Send 1 face-up non-effect monster you control to the graveyard to draw 2 cards. So basically, you send your copies of Mystic Shine Ball to the graveyard, draw 2 cards, allows you to have more fairy monsters in your graveyard if you want to main deck Archvale Christia, allows you to have destruction bullets for Master Hyperion to nuke stuff on your opponent's side of the field. And yeah, it's a pretty nice card. I go back and forth between 1 and 2 copies. 2 copies allow you to see it more, but to be honest, you only like end up using 1 in the duel. Like I don't think so far in my numerous playtests I've ever come across a time when I've used 2 of these cards back to back in the same duel, or even in the same match. So, but I mean, 2 gets it to your hand consistently. Yeah. A copy of Monster Reborn, 1 copy of Giant Trunade, 1 copy of a Japanese Terraforming. Allows you to get to the Sanctuary in the Sky with an extra push of consistency. Gravekeepers are so consistent is because they have basically 9 ways to get Necro Valley. They have 3 commandants, 3 recruiters who can get you 3 commandants, 3 spies who can get you 3 recruiters who can get you 3 commandants, and then the 3 copies of Necro Valley themselves. So I added this Terraforming to try and at least increase my deck's ability to bring out my field spell, because really and truly, I guess, which is also a weakness of this deck, it absolutely needs the Sanctuary in the Sky. Well, it doesn't need it. I've won without it. But the Sanctuary in the Sky, when you have it on the board, more than likely you're going to win. If you can keep and protect it, more than likely you're going to. Yeah, it's a good game if you have this guy out. 1 copy of MST. I only run 1 copy because of your spell lineup. Sorry, your trap lineup. You have a lot of ways to negate trap cards and even spell effects. So, I mean, I just had that one because just in case I want to pop that 1 back row that might scare me. And if I get lucky, I might hit that Solemn Warning. But Mystical Space Typhoon is one of my favorite cards. I just don't like the fact that you're taking a big chance, a big risk, and like wasting a card off of something that may be important, but may not be important. Now, as I said before, I don't run Dark Hole in this build. I side deck it because with my deck, because I'm using the Sanctuary in the Sky in conjunction with Master Hyperion, I can nuke a lot, and I can nuke so much that if I need Dark Hole, I feel like I'm already losing the duel if I allow my opponent to set up that much. And nowadays, not too many decks do that. Like, if an X-Saber deck is going to do that, the smart X-Saber player will have a Stardust on the field with their Swarm, or a Solemn Judgment backing them up. So Dark Hole will be useless even then. Smart Samurai players wouldn't go buck wild unless they're going for the OTK, or unless they have Magatama, Solemn Judgment, or Shin face out to negate all the Dark Holes you can possibly throw at them. So I feel like for me, Dark Hole in this specific deck, isn't too necessary. Like I said, if I have an opponent who has a Stardust out, I'll run it over with Master Hyperion and then nuke. Yeah, so that's about it. Spell lineup. Hope you guys like it. Again, if you have questions or comments, suggestions even about my videos, since they're practically brand new, put them all down there in the discussion segment thingy with Jiggy right down there. Anyway, YouTube, thank you again for watching. Peace. Good night.